Welcome to Faith Stories with Dawn DeMarco Buck. In the same way, let your light shine before others so that they will see your good works and give glory to your Father in heaven. Matthew 5:16.
Hello and welcome to Faith Stories. I'm Dawn DeMarco Buck. What is Faith Stories? Faith Stories are Christians from all walks of life who share their stories of faith, hope, and love. And my prayer is that you would come to know your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Well, how do you do that? Through His Word, which is the Bible. So if you need a Bible, please reach out to me at faithstorieswithdawn@gmail.com. All right, you guys, I've had this beautiful young lady on before, but I had to bring her back because she's so incredible. Her name is Heather Farley, and she is a vessel of Jesus Christ with a calling in social media ministry. She teaches others how to hear God's voice and discern their purpose so they can walk confidently in their God-given calling. You're going to meet her right after this.
Broughton Garage Door Sales now offers you a difference with the LiftMaster Secure View Ultra Quiet Smart Opener with camera, LED 360-degree lighting, and battery backup. Built-in camera adds video and two-way audio communication to the MyQ app. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage anytime, anywhere from your smartphone. Schedule today at broughton.com.
Just simply call Broughton, we open doors for you.
Tavilla Properties, located at 11471 West Sample Road, Suite 17, located in Coral Springs, Florida, for all your commercial needs. Call Jan at 954-341-1632. That's 954-341-1632, or visit www.tavillaproperties.com.
Discover Rosie's Garden. The collection draws inspiration from the beautiful niece of the founder, Rosie, who brought joy to many before passing too soon. Her beauty and spirit are reflected in every piece. Founded by two friends, Rosie's Garden is a female-owned brand passionate about creating stunning, elegant jewelry that embodies the concept of bellissima, the Italian word for beautiful. With a philosophy rooted in grace and elegance, the brand crafts each piece of jewelry using only the finest materials, including 18-karat gold and the highest quality craftsmanship, ensuring that every piece is a true work of art. Welcome back to Faith Stories. If you have any prayer requests, please email me at faithstorieswithdawn@gmail.com. That's faithstorieswithdawn@gmail.com. And welcome back. Okay, before I introduce, I was going to call you Candy, Heather, I want to give a shout out to Candy Ratter. I had her create this shirt for me. It's her website is www.live516.com, and it's in reference to Matthew 5:16, which is also on my show. Candy, thank you so much for this beautiful shirt. I really appreciate it. Okay, now, Heather. So Heather was on a couple months ago, right?
Yeah, I was.
Yay! And so she is someone who literally, she has an amazing story that if you haven't heard, you need to go back and watch, because it is so crazy how God speaks to this young lady in so many different ways. And so, okay, so I'm going to just throw it to you, because she has a book called When God Speaks. And how did you come up with that title? But what's the book all about?
Yeah, it's a great question. So, When God Speaks, little backstory, I'm not a writer.
FYI, right?
Never written a single thing in my life, really. I had journaled on and off, and God was like, you need to write about your testimony because it's kind of not normal. And,
and no, okay, so let's backtrack just a second, because I'm hoping to reach people who aren't Christians as well. So what does testimony mean?
Oh, yes. Okay, a testimony is how you found the Lord and what brought you to that point. And so it's kind of my story from 5 years old and up of how I became who I am today. But it has a twist on it. God really had me showcase like my sexual past and my sexual history, which was super outside of my comfort zone, because if you were to talk to me on a regular basis, this is like the last thing I would ever say.
Well, and I think most people don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Because even though sexual abuse is so common in our society today, but I didn't get the chance to read her whole book, you guys, but the 13 pages that I did were so, it's crazy, the trauma that you walked through as a child, and still was able to open up your heart to Jesus. You know, I mean, I just think that's such a powerful witness into who our God is. You know, so anyways, go back to you. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say that.
No, I love that.
You
That's
know?
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, sorry, what was the question?
No, but the thing that you were talking about is how God was telling you have a crazy story. And I'm thinking that is hysterical. You know?
Yeah. No, literally. So, like, I had, like, lived out of my car and everything. And the Lord just wanted really, because a lot of my life I had been, like, silenced. Just like everyone I would kind of talk to would just kind of silence me a little bit and would overlook what I would say. And so
I'm going to interrupt.
Yeah.
Because I want you to go back to when you were a little girl.
Okay.
Okay. And I want you to you don't have to go into super detail, but I do want you to touch on it.
Yeah.
And then how you were bullied in school and what that all looked like, because it really, that sets the foundation of the abuse that you experienced. Your parents had no clue what was going on.
Yeah.
And so, you know, and a lot of times I would say a good portion of the times parents don't even know. Yeah. You know, and you didn't know what's going on. So anyway, let's get into that and then we'll go into the bullying part. But I really want you to lay that foundation first, not gloss over it.
Yeah. So I guess like how, like, I guess which part do you want me getting into?
So when you were 5, you didn't, okay, so it didn't happen and come out until you were about 9, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so talk about that time frame, okay? How, yeah, you found out at 9. I guess start there because you didn't know at 5 what was going on.
Right. I experienced a lot of sexual abuse in my family, and nobody really knew what was going on until it came to light around 9 years old. And my parents were told by my mom's side of the family, and they figured it would be good to tell me out the gate when they figured it out. And how do you break that to a 9-year-old? That's kind of hard to do. And so it's just like, honestly, you'll have to like read for all the details, but it was really, I didn't really remember any of it. I would just go to my aunt's house, and she's like the sweetest person ever. She's just like super down to earth, and I don't know, I guess like I really felt led by the Lord to write this whole thing, to bring hope to other people that like no matter what you go through, God can redeem you. And you know, there was a lot of guilt and shame with that for a while.
And the thing about it is it's not the person who's being abused, it's not their fault, but yet they feel it's their fault, and it's not. It's so far from their fault. And that, you know, I mean, you were being drugged?
Yeah, so I don't know this for an absolute fact, but what we think happened is there was a lot of Benadryl in the cabinets, and so, and I would be extremely exhausted all the time when I would go over to my aunt's house to sleep over, specifically around the time I would go to sleep. And we think that I was given like a lot of Benadryl before I went to bed. And so, yeah, I just remember being super sleepy all of the time when I was there. And I just remember one day my mom had picked me up and she never dropped me back off there again. And I was like, okay, looks like we're not doing this anymore. I had no idea what was going on.
Right.
But I guess I just want to touch on this real fast. Like, I am not profiting off of God. I just wanted to put this out there for free, but God was like, you need to, because like, I just want to teach you how to hear God's voice, because how, like, by submitting your whole life to God, he really enhances your spiritual giftings. And I didn't even know what that was. And in this book, it teaches you all of that. It teaches you how to have the right perception of God and like the things that you need to hear God, because that's the main focus, is like how to hear God. And a lot of you guys turn to me to hear God, but like I really want you to hear God yourself.
Right.
And that's the whole point of this, is like telling the backstory of my life to give you hope and inspiration that there's hope for you no matter what you've gone through.
Right.
And so I'm not a writer. I literally have no idea why he told me to write this thing.
No, and I think it's written pretty well.
I appreciate that.
I read books where they're not written well, and
I appreciate that.
But I mean, just the little bit that I read, and I found that all the trauma that you went through, and you were bullied through school, and how you just, and then you came to know the Lord at like 13. Was it 13?
14. That's
14.
right.
I was close.
No, that was close.
And let's talk about that, because of the fact that once you open up your heart to Him, that's when he comes into your life.
No, absolutely.
And he takes over, and he now wants to show you what he wants to do in your life, right?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I found the Lord when I was around 14, and I started working at Chick-fil-A when I was 14.
I love this story.
And
I do. I think it's so awesome.
That's like how I started to really have a relationship with God, is like I saw the people around me have this joy that I had never seen before. And at the time, I was not happy to be working at 14. I'm 14.
I don't blame you.
I didn't want to work. And I was like, what the heck is going on? And then I was like, well, I'm here working to save enough money for my first car at 16, so I may as well make the best of it.
Yep.
And I started to get to know people, and it became like one of the best experiences of my life. And in the book, I really get into my whole journey of like going to school and where bullying started for me. I was really heavily bullied in school, like so much so that I didn't even want to go to school. That was really hard. And I was just like, I went to a public high school, and so I was like known as this girl that worked at Chick-fil-A and that loved God and was waiting for marriage, and it was kind of like a, what the heck is going on?
Well, and you know what's really interesting? Keep that thought right there. Saving yourself for marriage is so important, you guys. And because you know what? I lived the secular life, and I was intimate with men that I shouldn't have been intimate with. And all it does is kills your self-esteem. And to wait until God brings you your Christian husband is so much better than walking through what I walked through.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So, but I'm telling you, I professed it to my friends. And they looked at me like I had three heads. Like, how are you going to do that? I said, with God's help. How else? I mean, come on. I'm a 35-year-old woman. You have needs. But no.
That's awesome.
No. So, and I can't imagine in today's society how much more bullying you got as a result of that. I was a woman, and I didn't take anybody's crap, Well, yeah, okay, I can say that. Anyway.
No, 100%. And like, so I went to a public high school, public athletic school, and here's this girl, me, that's like creative, like the exact opposite, doing YouTube, which was kind of like not a thing at the time. And I did these cringy videos and just was trying to make videos before TikTok or anything really came out. I just want to make videos. And so I was super heavily bullied for saving myself for marriage, for being Christian, and for making videos.
You had the trifecta there, girl.
Yeah. I mean, I was just every which way, right? So it was just crazy, but that happened. And then, okay, so I'll tell you a little bit more because you didn't get through the whole thing.
I didn't.
But,
so
okay.
I was like, man, I wanted to go back to it this morning, but I didn't get a chance.
No, it's okay. No, it's kind of long. It's like 44 pages.
That's not long. Trust me, that ain't long.
To me, writing it as the writer
is probably torture because it's like, oh my gosh, really?
Well, no, and I'm not a writer, right? So I was like, oh my gosh, how much are we doing, Lord? But no, I'm just kidding. So,
are we done yet?
No, I'm like, okay, Lord, like, just I'm being obedient to you, God.
There you
Like,
go.
just put out what you want me.
That's the word, obedient.
Obedience.
Yes,
Yes,
good word.
very important. Yes, and obedience is just like answering God's call of like whatever he's telling you to do. So also, like, quick thing, God had been telling me to write this book for like 5 months. Every day I'd wake up, that's all he would tell me. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna do this thing. It took me a month to write. Like, I was going through it. Like, writing it, like, every day waking up to relive your past, to rewrite something is like, I would not recommend for anybody, honestly.
But I think there's therapeutic.
No, it was. There was so much. It taught me patience, taught me perseverance, how to word things the right way, like praying and asking God, like giving me discernment. Should I include this? Should I not include this? Like, and I have a hard time with patience. I have a hard time with that.
When we have that issue, trust me, he's going to teach you patience.
He will teach you. No, yeah. So like it was like literally I thought I had processed through some things, but there's nothing more humbling than like writing something out and like, oh wow, like this is still there. And, like, wow, I
you don't even realize it.
I thought I worked through that.
Yeah, no.
And so it was awesome though, because it was like, okay. And so like the whole month of me writing this was, I was in my room. Literally, I had a blow up mattress. Like, this is I just moved, but praise God. But I was on a blow up mattress, typing this out every day. Eating, not really eating, not really sleeping, because I was just so focused on this.
Right.
Just
you weren't
like
posting any videos. I was
No.
texting her, making sure she was getting it done, because I was her accountability person. I don't know if you had other people doing.
No,
that
I
for you.
did.
I figured. Yeah.
God was like sending everybody like,
It's
come on.
Have you written today? Have you written today?
No, it was awesome. It was literally so amazing, and I'm so grateful for you and all the amazing women God sent me, because it was brutal. I was really mentally going through it, and I almost like fell into depression. I don't really believe in depression, anxiety. I think God can like heal that, but like I think that like it's hard to not like wake up every day and to live in your past is like really hard, because the devil uses that.
Right, and
sometimes.
the trauma that you've experienced, but I also think it's something that needed to be done so that you can let go of the deep trauma that you're experiencing, because that's something that you don't even realize. I mean, you didn't even know what was going on when you were a little girl, you know, and you don't have any recall of that. Thank God. Yeah,
thank goodness I don't have really any recollection of that, but still figuring that out. I was like so mentally like, what do you do with that information?
Right, exactly.
I didn't even know what intercourse was at the time.
Well,
I didn't have a cycle or anything, so like I was like, so like when I was told this, I was like, what is this basing off of? Literally, I had no idea.
Right.
I was just totally confused. And then later down the road, I explained how I was previously engaged, and that whole thing was crazy. And I had looked for fulfillment in a job title, fulfillment in a paycheck, fulfillment in, you know, pornography, fulfillment in all these things that were temporary satisfaction.
Welcome to our world is what it is.
But it's like the one thing, we're all on a quest for Jesus and love without even knowing it. Right. And like, I'm just hoping that this inspires you, that like no matter what you're going through, if you've experienced all the different traumas in life, or just, you know, one thing, like God can redeem it and use it. Like what the enemy meant for evil, God always turns for your good. And like, I did not think God could use my trauma in this way for good, but like praise God for that. And
this is going to speak to so many young men and young women who, you know, don't know where their anger comes from, or, you know, they've suppressed those memories because it's not a memory they want to recall. But you need to walk through that and release it to the Lord so that you can be healed, so that He can heal you from it, you know? And so okay, so now you're talk more about the rest of your journey in the book, because I haven't read the rest, but I'm going to. So
after that, I got into how I went to college and graduated from college, and I had met like my ex-fiance through that whole thing, and I really get into that whole thing.
Was he a Christian?
Yes. So he was Christian, and it was a very lukewarm relationship, and I get into all of that deeply in there of like, there was a lot of trauma in that.
Trauma with him, or with you as a couple, or?
Yeah, and this is something that I didn't even really want to touch on in the book, because it's like, it's someone else, but like God was really telling me like there's so many other women that have experienced this in previous relationships that He wanted me to touch on, so I was really specific in it. Trauma, like just how I was viewed. Like, a lot of my life I had been like controlled by guys, or like conquered, or like seen as like a conquest, I guess, and like women. And I got into this in like my journey of high school, like how women had this weird competitive spirit towards me, and I'd always kind of experienced that from men and then from women. And so that whole thing with my ex-fiance was really hard for me to process, because we had been engaged 2 separate times, and it was on and off, and he just like kept leaving, and I kept taking him back because I didn't feel I had value.
That's the self-esteem.
Yeah, because like I was so heavily conditioned to believe that if I didn't have my virginity, I had no value. And that, I feel like there's a lot of women out there that silently believe that, that don't talk about it. And so I'm grateful that the Lord has had me talk about that, and like the boldness and the courageousness.
Yeah.
And God is the one that gave me that, because I was freaking out a few days before I had put this out there. Because I was like, but it's like I died the moment I gave myself to Jesus. And so like, this is his life, not mine.
Absolutely.
And so if I could help someone else like feel less alone through it, like that's...
And that's the thing, you know, because what God showed me, you know, I became a new creation, right? So I would joke and I would say I'm a born again virgin, you know, because I was. And when I met my husband, I told him, I said, you know, this is what God showed me, and I have to wait until I'm married. If you're not okay with that, then I'm not the person for you. And no hesitation, he said, absolutely, I want to honor God in that relationship, in our relationship. And that's what I encourage any woman, because God wants you to be, he wants you to be lifted up in your marriage, right? He wants you to feel loved and cherished and honored. And that's what you get when you marry another Christian man who walks the walk.
Yeah. Because
there's a lot of Christian men and women who don't walk the walk and live like the world.
Yeah.
And that's not good.
Yeah, I really get into that whole thing of like being engaged and being lukewarm and doing everything, you know.
Can't be lukewarm with the Lord.
No,
He'll
you
spit
can't.
You out.
Yeah, and then after that whole thing, I was like, well, I tried everything. I tried lukewarm. I tried like living the way I wanted, and none of it worked. So I was like, you know what, Lord, let's move cross country. Like I was just like, let's just do the whole thing. And so God was calling me to move across the country. And then I moved across the country, and then I had lost my job, my fiance, and moved cross country, lost my job and my fiance all within the span of 3 months. I was going through it. Yep. That was crazy. And then the Lord like brought me this community, and I learned like just like finding my value in Jesus and like starting my own business for God. And then I had lived out of my car because God told me to give up everything I had owned, not sell it, literally just give it up, give it away, live out of my car. And then I moved here, lived out of my car for 7 months, and then he delivered me. And it's like
that's incredible. I mean, that you did that. And I know the last interview that we had, I was so blown away by your obedience to the Lord.
I appreciate
because
that.
if the Lord told me to live out of my car, I'd be like, no. It's just not me, God.
Well, if you would have told me it would have been for 7 months,
no kidding.
I would have been like, what the heck? I thought it was maybe like a month or two. I was like, how long are we in the wilderness for, Lord? Like literally the wilderness.
You literally were in the wilderness.
Oh my gosh, yeah, no. I was going
insane.
insane.
Didn't you grow?
Yes.
Okay, so you know what? I think we're going to take a quick commercial, because I want you to have a little bit more time to talk about how you grew in your
spiritual gifting that
Thank
way.
you.
Yeah.
I was getting there. So let's go to commercial. We'll be right back.
Broughton Garage Door Sales now offers you a difference with the LiftMaster Secure View Ultra Quiet Smart Opener with camera, LED 360-degree lighting, and battery backup. Built-in camera adds video and two-way audio communication to the MyQ app. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage anytime, anywhere from your smartphone. Schedule today at broughton.com.
Just simply call Broughton. We open doors for you.
Tavilla Properties, located at 11471 West Sample Road, Suite 17, located in Coral Springs, Florida, for all your commercial needs. Call Jan at 954-341-1632. That's 954-341-1632, or visit www.tavilla.com. rosieproperties.com.
Discover Rosie's Garden. The collection draws inspiration from the beautiful niece of the founder, Rosie, who brought joy to many before passing too soon. Her beauty and spirit are reflected in every piece. Founded by two friends, Rosie's Garden is a female-owned brand passionate about creating stunning, elegant jewelry that embodies the concept of bellissima, the Italian word for beautiful. With a philosophy rooted in grace and elegance, the brand crafts each piece of jewelry using only the finest materials, including 18-karat gold and the highest quality craftsmanship, ensuring that every piece is a true work of art.
Welcome back to Faith Stories. If you have any prayer requests, please email me at faithstorieswithdawn@gmail.com. That's faithstorieswithdawn@gmail.com.
And welcome back. Okay, Heather, I'm going to give you the last couple minutes. I just need a minute to talk about your spiritual giftings and how God showed that to you while you're living in your car.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So when you're living in your car, you're in fight or flight mode, as you could probably imagine. So I was living in my car. I'm like, okay, I have all my stuff crammed in the back. I'm like, what are we doing, Lord? Like, where do I sleep? Where do I go? What do I do? I had a Planet Fitness membership. I'd go work out in the morning, shower there, brush my teeth there.
There you go.
Then I would pee. Okay, I don't know how, like,
You don't have to get that graphic.
but like, okay, but like how I found my spiritual gifting was like I would just pray and ask the Lord, like, where are we going? What are we doing? Like, I would ask where to sleep that night, and He would tell me where to go. Like, I would sit and it would be like a thought in my head,
Right.
and like discernment in my heart, in my soul, the Holy Spirit that dwells inside of you, to know where to go. Like, I would usually sleep at church parking lots during the week because like not much would happen, and
Right.
not once did a cop find me or I get pulled over. Like, somehow, some way, the whole 7 months, I was safe, I was sound, everything was fine, and that's because of the Lord.
Of course. There's no doubt that was because of the Lord.
Yes, I know, because as a single 23-year-old living out of your car, like that,
Right.
a woman, like, that's insane. Like, I was so scared. It was really hard to sleep some nights.
I bet. I mean,
But I just knew.
statistics show, I mean, I don't know what the statistics are of women sleeping in their cars. You know, I'm just...
Yeah, praise God.
You had angels surrounding you. God
No, I
was-
would pray that God would keep me safe every night, and Lord willing, I was safe
And
every
He
night.
did,
And He
every
did.
night.
It was crazy.
So when you heard, and it's a voice, it's a very still small
Yes.
voice, because I hear from God, not as often as you, but I do hear from Him. He'll do it like a pressing, like someone would
Yes.
drop into my spirit, you know, and I'm sitting quiet, and He's like, okay, you know, text this to this person, and I do, and they're like, yeah, thank you, I needed that. You know, and so it's just a matter of being obedient and knowing that it's not like this loud voice. God is just in the midst of, and the quietness of. Right?
Yeah, it's like the stillness, and I'm just super grateful that God had me write this ebook. And I recommend, if you feel led by the Lord, to buy it. It's $15, linked in my storefront. And we really get
tell
into
them
that.
where that is. It's on Instagram, so it's
Yes,
what
it's
is
on my
it?
Instagram, and it's my storefront, so it's my stand store. The link is in my bio on Instagram.
And it's Heather Farley, at Heather Farley with 2 Y's, is it?
I think it's 3 Ys.
Is it 3 Y's?
It's 3 Ys and then 2 Ys on TikTok.
Oh,
but
okay.
It's both
Okay.
linked in both. But
All right.
I really get into like how to hear God. I lived out of my car, and it was like the most intense thing ever. But I lived out of my car so that you don't have to, so I can hear God's voice and teach you guys. Yes, and teach you guys what I learned living out of my car. So that, yeah, I do not recommend. But anyways,
All right, girlfriend. Well, she's coming back on a regular basis. I just love her. I think she's
I love you.
incredible. I love you too, girl.
Thank you.
Okay, you guys, next week, fun. I have a designer. Her name is Kamea McPherson. She's a bridal and evening gown designer. She has a crazy story like you. The voice of God told her where to go.
Wow.
It's going to be a fun show, you guys. So check us out next Wednesday at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. And listen, have a blessed day. And please share, subscribe. I so appreciate it. Have fun. See you next week. Ciao.
Thank you for watching Faith Stories, where you will hear stories of hope, faith, and love. Please join us next week, and remember, God meets you where you are, but doesn't leave you where you are.